Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me here this morning for Workouts for Older Men Live. I am here every single day at this time, 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time, bringing you some information, some inspiration to take your body, workouts, your eating, your life to the next level now that you're a little bit older. So when you come on, say hello, tell me where you're watching me from. Want to answer your questions, and this time we spend together. All right, so tell me where you're watching me from, and tell me how old you are. I want to know who TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube want to see who they are sending me. If you're a man, you're a little bit older, you've got a busy, productive life, you're looking all over the internet, you're confused. You're confused with all the different workout strategies. Which one is best for you? Is it lighter weights, more reps, heavier weight, fewer reps? Should you train the body part once a week or twice a week? Will full body workouts work? Can I even get this done if I have a limited amount of time, 2-3 days a week in the gym? What about eating? You need to lose some body fat, whether you've been carrying around 40 pounds extra body fat for years, right? Because you just haven't paid attention. I know you're working hard with your family and your business all throughout your younger years, but now you have the time and what I call you have the brain space now to put more attention on. So just somehow, if you can just find the right eating strategies, right, to lose that weight, all right, that body fat, I want to help you do that. I've been doing this for 35 years. I'll be 62 years old this month. I'm a former 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. But who cares about, my muscles, what I accomplish on a bodybuilding stage, because I know you don't want to be a bodybuilder, right? But all of that dedication, that commitment to having the best drug-free physique, it put me on an obsession to learn all the different training strategies, all the different eating strategies, more than just learn about them, actually apply them, right? So that perspective, because I'm 20 years removed being a bodybuilder. I live the life now that you probably lived 25 years ago. Got 2 young kids, just about 11 and 9. We're active in sports, very active in sports. And in addition to all of my responsibilities now that I'm no longer a focused bodybuilder, right? But all of that dedication, all these different workout strategies, all these different eating strategies that are confusing, I can help you differentiate what's important, what's not. There's a saying that says, if everything is important, then nothing is. I just want to, doing this for so long, I just want to tell you that most information that you are listening to from the younger passionate fitness experts, even the older passionate fitness experts, it's not the information that you need. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's misinformation, right? But you need to know what the basic organizing principles are, the ones that build muscle and lose body fat, right? And you need to learn those. You need to understand those. You need to feel confident moving forward that they work. So you put your full focus and attention. You take those to higher and higher levels of understanding and execution, and you know how long it takes for the body to transform the way you want. You're putting in this effort maybe for the first time. It's not happening the way you think it is, but maybe that's just because how you think it should work isn't the way it works. Maybe just because you're in this deficit 500 calories times 7, it doesn't work out to 2 pounds a week. That's not how it works. Directionally, the information might be accurate, but if you don't understand the journey, how long things take, especially when you do it in a sustainable manner. And if you don't do it in a sustainable manner, you don't know when you're this short-term, these quick fix types remedies, and you just don't have these big, huge promises, and they don't fulfill. Now you're messed up in the head, right? I want to clear all that frustration, confusion, and overwhelm, all right? So that you just move forward with certainty and confidence, all right? So I am so glad you're here. Hey, thank you so much for the likes over on TikTok. Keep on tapping that screen, all right? So keep on tapping that screen. If you are hearing this for the first time, you're being exposed to this page, and it's something that you might need. Make sure that you follow. Make sure you follow. I've got a lot of information for you, not only on these live broadcasts every day, but also on my skiplacour.com website, well, when you go to myskiplacour.com website, you'll see that most of the questions you have now, the questions that you'll have 3 months from now, and the questions that you'll have a year from now have been answered in 10, 20 half-hour videos that I prepared for you. Yes, it is live. Yes, it is live. All right. Okay. So, but we can answer all your questions one at a time. I want to interact with you. Thank you, Double D, for the rose, for the gifts. I appreciate that. So let's welcome you for being here. Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you so much for the likes. When it comes to like tapping on the screen over on TikTok, all right, I think that I have this page for 2 years, right? Never asked for likes, but I noticed that the other creators doing their live broadcasts have asked for that. And I think, I'll just give them the information they need. I'll bring the energy, and I guess if they like it, right? And so in 2 years and doing a live, like the last 2 months, I've been doing this every single day for at least an hour on TikTok. And my total for likes for 2 years was like 75,000, right? Yesterday, I did 2 live sessions, and I just said, hey, tap that screen. And I got 17,000 just yesterday. So thank you so much for the likes. It's going to attract men just like you. If I'm going to do this every single morning, I want to do it to the largest audience and the most intelligent audience for men just like you. So when you tap that screen, when you follow my channel, it's going to attract the algorithm, you know, how they know everything about us, right? It'll attract more men like you. So thank you so much for being here. Andre, thank you so much for the follow. Midwest, thank you so much for the follow. All right, let's see here. Tahoe Jilly, thank you so much for the follow. All right. Maru Via, 35-year-old, seems I can't break the belly fat and see very little tone and definition. Okay. So howdy from Odessa, Texas. So glad you're here, sir. All right. So you can't see muscle gains. You can't get the fat loss, you know, so I can help you. I have to know a little bit more about you. What are you doing right now? All right. Are you doing push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks at home? Are you going to a commercial gym? And what are you talking about? Sit-ups, jumping. I do that and push-pull legs. And I've been doing that for 6 months. And I'm having personal records. I have good form and I'm lifting a ton of weight. What are you talking about? Push-ups, sit-ups. No, I'm working out in a commercial gym. I still can't lose this belly fat, right? Doing 1,000 sit-ups a day, whatever, right? So where are you now, right? Because I can help you, but I need to know where you are now, all right? I'm just going to make some assumptions, but if you can interact, that can help me help you specifically, right? But as I've helped so many men just like you, who've been doing this for 35 years, right from the very beginning when I built my internet website back in 1994, when we didn't have such an easy, awesome format like social media, where you have to really know how to build a website and all that technical stuff just to get your message out, right? I've been helping out men, right? So for 35 years, helping out. The last 8 years, all I've been doing is helping out older men. Our perspective, our values, our priorities, what we're willing to do, what we're not willing to do, wondering if, hey, I can't eat the way I used to. I just look at a carb now at 50 years old. I used to be able to eat anything I wanted to back when I was 25. And now that I'm older, I can't eat the way I used to. I can't recover from the gym. I mean, my workouts, I'm so sore for days. I can't recover the way I used to. I can't even lift as much weight like I used to. Not even close to like the way I used to. Right? I don't have all the time for my workouts like I used to, right? My joints, they're sore. Got shoulder issues, hip issues, all right? I don't have a totally functional body like I used to, right? If that sounds like you, so I address from all those issues. It's still building muscle. It's still losing body fat. It's still working out in the gym. It is still eating right. Right. But I address it from that issue. I've been doing that for the last 8 years, really zoning it in. Right. right? So, but what most men, when they want to transform, and maybe that's how they found me. What's a workout for an older guy, right? And you find me. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that to lose that body fat, it's going to be in your eating habits. So continue to work out, whether it's push-ups, sit-ups, um, uh, pull-ups, workout with some jogging and running at home or whatever it is, right? Your home gym, your commercial gym, whatever body parts, heavy, light, whatever, continue to take that to higher and higher levels. You're going to need that muscle. You're going to need that flexibility, functionality of working the muscle, right? But to lose that body fat, you're going to have to concentrate on your diet, right? And if you're already kind of doing that, you eat the right foods, you avoid the wrong foods, and you use common sense portion control. And it's work to an extent. That next level is getting a little deeper level knowledge. And that's what I want to talk about today. The subject is eating for quality of life, eating for quality of life, not just to lose body fat. When you eat for quality of life, you will lose body fat. But I'm not even talking about, longevity. Don't eat this because there's poison in processed food. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how to eat to have better moods, all right? The ability to handle life and stress, better sleep, in addition to having more energy to lengthen your day, being sharp as a tack, right? In addition to being stronger in the gym to build muscle and lose body fat. Quality of life. Let's talk about eating from that perspective. I know a lot of men know that eating is the number one challenge, but maybe if we can spin it around, give you a little different perspective and tell you all the different ways how eating right, eating for a quality of life can help you just that one more level of understanding, of determination, motivation to actually have you follow through. Because I know that eating right is older men's biggest challenge in most cases. All right. I just realized this was pre-recorded. This is not pre-recorded. Mr. Z. All right. No, it's not. All right. Sacktown, living in Houston, Southern A. So glad you are here. Thank you so much for the likes. 2.5 thousand likes. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts too, Double D. You're so generous with the gifts. We're on TikTok. I really appreciate that. So Tree Grit over on YouTube. So as a tree climber, you see older men in their 50s having abs and working out. Discipline and consistency. Awesome. How old are you, Tree Grit? I'm curious. Now you're here on YouTube, and this is Workouts for Older Men. Check out my YouTube channel if you're not here. If you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, at Skip LaCour, my YouTube channel. But True Crit, how old are you? You're kind of speaking that you're a younger man, and we've talked about this in the show. Is the ability to climb up ladders when you get older. So you're how old are you, Tree Grit? You're 38, right? Now, hey, I'm just curious. Do you have older guys in their 50s and 60s climbing up trees, doing that tree climbing work, or have you heard that when you get older, how it's a different challenge climbing, and they don't recommend older men getting up on ladders or climbing up trees? I would think that's a younger man's occupation. Am I right? You're a female. You train men for a living. You train men how to climb up trees. Do you have anything to do with trees? And you're a woman. Okay. All right. Let's go back to some of these questions. All right. Let's see. No problem building muscle, having trouble losing body fat. Robert, great to have you here. What are you doing for that as far as your eating? I'm going to talk a little bit more about eating, kind of break that down. And I don't know how complex eating is or how we make it a lot more complex than it has to be. That's definitely, just basic eating. Yeah, right. If you listen to most fitness influencers and they talk about losing body fat, what do they say? They say the same two words: calorie deficit. Right? Yeah, it's as simple as a calorie deficit, right? But obviously, uh, it's a little bit more complicated than that. It doesn't necessarily have to be. If you get it, you get it. But if you don't, like a lot of men don't, like I said, eating is their number one challenge. Maybe there's a little bit more to breaking this down and what that means as far as a calorie deficit. All right. All right. Let me All right, let me answer some of these questions here on TikTok. Todd, thank you so much for the follow. Todd Bod. Lou, thank you so much for the follow. Zip asks, thank you for the follow. Anthony, all right, thank you for the follow. Said Lou Zipes, thank you for the follow. Hey, thank you so much. Tap that screen. Thank you so much for the likes. Feel like I'm running a telethon. You guys remember those back in the day when people used to watch their they used to watch their televisions, right? Feel like I'm doing a telethon. Tap that screen for likes. All right. All right. Thank you, Sin, for the follow. All right. Let me get to some of these questions here. All right. I'm in my late 50s. Can I still put on muscle tissue with TRT? I'm laughing because on TikTok, for whatever reason, um, it's just assumed that you just have to be on TRT. And that's how influential social media is, especially on TikTok. I think it's just, how they get it. I mean, once you get on that thing, it's just thrown in your face, and it's just interesting. The question shouldn't be, can I put on muscle with TRT? I'm in my late 50s. The question should be, can I put on muscle in my late 50s, period? Right? Now, everybody can put on muscle, right? Right? It's just how much, what do you expect? Right? How are you even going to see it? So a lot of men don't know what a realistic amount of muscle is. What they want to do is transform their physique. What's it going to take to make that transformation? Many times, men, they think I got to lift this weight, so I got to build 5-10 pounds of muscle in the next 6 months. Let's say 6 months. They probably think in the next 3 months they need like 5 pounds of muscle, right, to transform their body into this vision of what they see. So everybody has a different vision, but I can tell you this: it's going to be probably ounces of muscle that you build with consistent training. But when you lose that body fat, and even if you look pretty good in clothes, you're not fat, right? But if you're looking at all these fitness influencers, younger, older, and they have these round shoulders, and you can tell the skin is thin, chest, whether you're younger or older, obviously, for the majority, even with older fitness influencers, the majority, they look really young. When they're young, they look really good, right? That transformation is not this buildup of muscle most of the time, right? It's losing the body fat to show the separation and the definition. So that's done. That transformation that you see is losing the body fat, even if you look better than most. That is key, right? So as far as building muscle in your late 50s, let's just forget about the TRT part of it. If you have not been lifting, just say like you took care of your family and business, like I talked about, you never really made it to the gym, right, on a consistent basis. And now you have the time. Now you're going to go to the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week. You're learning what to do. You understand the principles of overload for muscle gain. And you're in your 50s, yeah, you can build muscle. All right. You can even do that if you've been training for 15 years, but just like anything else, you've built your muscle. And I would hope if you've been training for 15, 20 years and you're in your 50s, you're not so obsessed anymore with chasing this muscle. Hopefully, if you've been doing it for 20 years, you already understand what I'm saying and how it works. I'll give a guy a pass if he's 55 and he's just working out for the first time, how all this muscle building, fat loss, what the appearance is, that he doesn't quite know how it works, that he thinks he's going to muscle his way through training to look the way he wants to look. But if you're, if you're doing this for 25 years and you're in your 50s and you think that this weight training is going to, I don't know, put 10 pounds of muscle, it's not really about the age, as you might think. It's because you already built the muscle. Now get lean to show it, right? Most men I talk to, right? And it doesn't matter if they look pretty good. And what's most important is that you look good, you feel certain in this journey building muscle and losing body fat, not frustrated, overwhelmed, constantly wondering if you're doing it right. I want to help you get that certainty and confidence. But most men don't understand the organizing principles to lifting weight, to building muscle, and they overvalue what that weight training is due to the physique and the health that they want to see in the mirror. They think that weight training is going to help them lose body fat, and it's not. It's not. All right. As far as TRT is concerned, and like I said, especially like on platforms like my mailing list. All right. Make sure you go to skiplacour.com. When you go there, get on my email list. I have a series of videos that will come out over the months following you signing up that'll put you to the right video at the right time at that stage, series of videos in a newsletter form, right? So the men who are on my email list, and we're not talking about guys who know nothing about working out, right? To the men on at least at this time on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram, they are not all obsessed. The first thing on their mind is older, building muscle, working out, losing body, TRT. It's not in the same conversation. They don't even know what TRT is, right? And by the way, TRT is testosterone replacement therapy, getting synthetic hormones because as you age, now to what extent, to what impact, right? Your testosterone levels will fall. It's just part of getting older, just like your liver and kidneys don't function the same. The way your blood circulates, your oxygen. That's why we exercise, right? As it gets older, that's just how the body works. You may be healthy, but if you're comparing to anything to how it worked when you were younger, that's what aging is, right? So we won't produce as much testosterone. The impact. Now that's the thing. That I think it really plays with a lot of men's mind. They just think they're older. Look, and I'm not talking about just young guys, who are on social media working out. Just take a look at the population of men at whatever age. Do you think they can just build muscle and lose body fat? Do you think they look all muscular just because they're younger, because they've got more testosterone in their body? No, they don't. They don't. Right? So it is a factor, but is that why you can't build muscle? Or you're just like them, you don't know how to train, you're not consistent about it. You got to break this this belief that what's the use of going to the gym and eating right if I'm not on TRT? I need all three of those. No, you don't. All right. Got to know that. Got to learn more about the training and eating. A lot of men who are on TRT, they come to me, right? Because they have to learn more about training and eating and how this works. So whether you're on TRT or not, you got to learn how to train and eat. What's the number one supplement you'd recommend to older men? That would be the most irresponsible question to answer for most people, right? And I don't answer that question, right? Because I want to give you the information that you need. See, on the internet right now, when it comes to fitness information, all this stuff is like the number one. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. The number one exercise to do at 7:00 at night or whatever. I don't know, right? How useful is that? Where does that come from, right? Just the fact that supplements are not going to make up for the understanding of training that you need to make you consistent with your training, the understanding of nutrition that you need, the level of consistency. That's what you need to learn, level of consistency with nutrition, right? That's what needs to be emphasized more and more and more if you're going to have the body that you want, you're going to do in a sustainable manner. All right. So a lot of men think they got it covered. They have no clue. They think they have the training down, right? Which, you can make some progress, not really knowing what you're doing, right? But the nutrition part, they're not even paying attention to it. So if they look at that body and they say, well, we need supplements. What's the number one supplement I need, right? I'm just helping you skip past what you really need, because there is no supplement that's going to transform your physique. There isn't one. Now, when you talk about supplements, let me just tell you, the ones that sell the most or the ones that you can actually feel something, like niacin and, beetroot, those type of things that, are popular, a pre-workout. It's just the caffeine in the pre-workout that makes you feel jittery, all right? That you feel blood flow, that you feel an itchiness, right? It makes you feel something. A supplement, if it's going to sell for the long haul, it better make you feel something. Creatine makes your muscles engorge. You can feel that, right? Baking soda before you can feel something. That doesn't necessarily mean it's helping you build muscle, but if they don't have you feel something and they just hope, they're just hoping that just take our word for it. Maybe that'll work on your initial purchase, but unless you just really believe in supplements in general and you're working out, eating right, and you're attributing your success to the supplement, it's not going to sell. Right? Doing this for 35 years, watching all the supplements come and go, and then come back again when a new crop is ready for the new brand of marketing, right? And if it's a protein powder, it's any type of drinks, it's got to mix well and it's got to taste good if it's going to sell, all right? But what is it doing for you? I mean, even the supplement manufacturers, they would say, look, I give you the highest quality products. Studies show this, this, and this. But if you don't work out and eat right, this supplement isn't going to do anything for you except for feel something, a little something, or taste good, right? So I would, to answer that question responsibly, I want to know what you know about training. I want to know how consistent by your own standards you are with your training, all right? I want to know what you know about eating. I want to know how consistent you are with eating, because any supplement, I'm just sending you down the road to distract you from what you need to do and know and follow through with, and giving you the false hope that some supplement is going to help you, all right? Swimming 3 times a week, 40 minutes, workout for cardio, weights twice a week. That sounds great, Robert. Good for you. Paul, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for the likes over on TikTok. Keep on top of that screen. Every time you tap that screen, not only gives me energy, right, but it attracts more men who are just like you. All right. TRT, what's the question on TRT, Jose? Just talked a little bit about TRT, maybe indirectly. But what's your question? I'm sorry, Joe. Joe, what's your question about TRT? All right, let's see here. BCA supplement for recovery. I'm dead for 4 days after just a couple of sets on squats. The question or a statement? Creatine, right? So, man, I just, I'll post that today, but I gave you everything you need to know about creatine. A little presentation that I did yesterday that'll be posted over on my TikTok page, because TikTok, if you noticed, because their TikTok shop, anyone can sell products, right? It's an ingenious idea, right? So everybody's selling creatine now on TikTok, right? So there's a lot of talk on creatine. If you're newer to training, maybe if you're younger too, you may think, man, I want to look a certain way. I'm 40 pounds overweight. Don't know what I'm doing in the gym yet. Just getting consistent with it. Got to have this creatine stuff everybody's talking about. Not true. Not true with any supplements, right? Sin, thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for the likes. Anything special to lose body fat? Anything special? Does that mean unique, a shortcut, a gimmick? I don't know what you would consider that, but are there supplements that help you lose body fat? Back in the 2000s, there was an ingredient that was in most of the fat loss supplements, and it was called ephedrine. Ephedra was its natural counterpart, right? And that really worked, right? But that's illegal now. They don't even have it available on cold medicines anymore. You have to get that behind the counter now, right? But that really worked. And the whole industry of fat loss was built around that, right? But and that was like, I think early 2000s that got banned, right? But I don't even think that fat loss pills is even a category anymore in sports supplements. Am I wrong on that? Is anybody even offering pills for fat loss? Because I think that category died when that effective supplement called ephedrine was taken off the market. I don't even hear about fat loss pills at all, where that was just such a category in the 90s and the 2000s. Well, thank you so much. Halflings, thank you so much. All right. Thank you for the follow, ZTR. Thank you for the follow, Richard. Richard Baldwin. Thank you so much. Engrave and Fly with Autism. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for the likes, too. Just this morning, in 33 minutes of today's show, we have 3,200 likes. I've been doing this for 2 years, and I only had 75,000 likes. So I guess it works. If I ask, you guys will deliver. So thank you so much for likes. Tap, 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 tap on that screen. It expands the reach. And so when I'm up, you're the first person I talk to every single morning on Workouts for Older Men Live. It'll attract more men like you. We'll have a bigger audience as we do. The bigger the party, the more you tap. All right. Let's see. Cotton at 55 and starting the gym about a month ago. Okay. I realized my muscles can push more than my joints won't. Okay. I don't know if that's an age thing, right? Or some men are just more quick. Maybe you're super strong or super ambitious. I wonder if you were younger, if you would have had joint pain. Joint pain isn't just exclusive for older men, even though it's more common in older men. But yeah, you know what? If your joints are because you really believe it's because of the weight you are lifting, right? Not the volume. See, this is a really important distinction. Just because you're lifting weights, and more isn't better, right? So if you can lift whatever weight, do 20 reps, let's say, and you can do that for an hour straight, and you have the time and you want to do more, and so you do that 7 days a week. Just because you're lifting weights, which is a good thing, willing to do the work, which is a good thing, all those reps, even if it's not heavy weight, man, the body is pushing more than, picking up a mouse, or whatever, just picking up whatever we do now. I was going to say pick up a pen, but who picks up a pen? Picking up a phone, right? That's basic bodily functions, unless, you're climbing up trees, like Tree Grid on YouTube, or you have a physical job, right? You notice how men with a physical job, it could be a gardener, that repetition, they have sore joints. Repetition, frequency. All right. that's just going to wear on your joints. It doesn't matter if it's a manageable weight. It doesn't matter if you're doing something healthy like lifting weights. So before you assume it's the weight, could it be the volume, right? All these sets that you really don't need when you know what to do. All these reps within the sets that you really don't need when you know how to do this. All that frequency, right? Because you're ambitious, training 7 days a week, all that, right? Is it the weight or is it the repetitions, right? I want you to consider the fact how to get it done in less time, less frequency. That body part that you're training, you don't have to do it 2 and 3 times a week, right? That you don't need all those reps. You don't need all those sets, just duplicating all these exercises, just duplicating the same movement, right? More isn't better, and more, even when it's lighter weight, all those repetitions on your joints, right? So, a lot of men talk about, lighter weight. I got to use lighter weights now that I'm older and want to be safe. All those things are important, of course. But repetition on a light, safe weight, it still could be taxing your joints. And a lot of men have been working out a long time, and they have this more volume. They are training like they did when they were 20 years old, and that worked back then. And they still have that more volume as they're older. And but they've lightened the weight, but they still have the joint pain because it's repetitions. All right. Not able to afford a gym membership at the moment. What can I do at home to get in shape? You know what? I don't know how far you are out of shape. I don't know exactly what your goal is. But if it's to lose body fat, just move. Just move. Just walk, right? If you want to test your muscles, right? Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, right? But just move. Really, to transform, if you're the average man, it's to lose that body fat. And that's going to be done with your diet that you need to watch when you're not even in the gym, right? Where can I find your information on creatine? That will be posted today. Let's see, talked about that for about a half an hour or so. Everything that you need to know about creatine. What do you know? Do you have a couple of questions about creatine, Richard, right now? And maybe answer your questions. Men's Blue Health. Good morning, sir. Eating right and fat always has been my issue. The muscles are there. Eating right and the body fat is most men's issues. Right? Right. Let's see here. Yeah, thank you so much for the follow, Richard. I'll just talk a little bit about creatine again. I've been back in the gym since May. Is vegan creatine good to take? Anything special about body fat? All right. I just started taking some vegan creatine. So creatine came on the market back in 1994 or so, and I never even heard the term vegan creatine. That one molecule. What makes it vegan versus not? Uh, hmm. That's interesting. See, I'm Ah, okay. So, so that's very interesting. So, Richard, I never heard of the term vegan creatine, and I talk about is that I started taking creatine way back in 1994, right, when it was just coming into the sports nutrition market. I talked about how very ambitious young drug-free bodybuilding for us supplements that you come out of the counter was our edge. So we did the training, we did the eating, right? So the supplements we were going to create the magic. Maybe it's a lot of the same way that men look at supplements right now, even if they're not competing. And so I lost this show. So I was winning all the local, regional drug-free bodybuilding shows. But there's one show, and I wasn't quite lean enough prepared. I was gearing up for the show at the end of the year, and there's this Muscle Mania contest, and it's on national TV, and it was a real big deal, played on ESPN all the time. And I had come in second the year before, so now I was prime working harder. I was going to enter this contest. But in June of that year, I lost a pretty local show. Great bodybuilder, this guy, just beautiful physique. His name was in contact with him in whatever that is, 20, 30 years. Wow. And anyway, named Wade Brown, and he beat me on that show. And it was a big shocking, I had all these plans of being this international figure champion, right? So I had a setback. All right. And I used to write for the muscle magazines at that time. So, I had an 800 number. It was easy to get a hold of me, even back before the internet. And so he called me and he talked about, oh, yes, I'm getting ready for Muscle Mania. And like I said, I came in second the year before. Man, there's nothing I wanted to win more than this second time around. Right. And so he's all like on my turf, right? I'm going to work hard or whatever. But he said, like he said, he beat me. He's a great bodybuilder. And he said that I'm going to be 10 pounds bigger. It's just 6 months later and you're going drug free, right? When you're drug free bodybuilders, everybody drug free who's entering the contest, right? It's freaked out. I go, how are you going to do that? And he said, creatine monohydrate. He was from West Indies or Jamaica or something like that, right? And so I just was looking, what is this creatine monohydrate? And so I was affiliated with AST Sports Science, a supplement company that was popular back in the 90s and early 2000s. And Paul Lee, the owner, just really knowledgeable guy. I would immediately call him up. What's this creatine monohydrate? A guy who's going to be facing me in the Muscle Mania here in 6 months said he's going to be 10 pounds bigger on this creatine monohydrate. And he goes, well, look, see, if the studies, they're still coming out about what it is, what it does, and everything like this. Again, this was back in like June of 1994, right? And so I had to get a hold of some of this creatine monohydrate. So there was this company in Australia called Musashi I had a relationship with, and they had it. So it wasn't even in big tubs. It was just these little things of creatine monohydrate new to the market. So I got some creatine monohydrate and said, well, wait on that. Just making sure you take it with B6, I don't know if it'll work or whatever it is what Paul Loya said to me. But I had to get this creatine monohydrate and it did work. So when you're lean and you have muscle, all right, it can volumize your muscle. So it's important that you know what creatine does, right? Creatine, that weight isn't muscle. So if you take creatine, right, and you're 8 pounds bigger a week later, that isn't muscle on the scale, 8 pounds or whatever it might be, 5 pounds for you. And it's not body fat, and it's not unsightly water weight. Your muscles are, whether you have big muscles, tissue, a lot of muscle tissue, 35% of your body is muscle. 70% of that muscle is fluid that's pushed into the muscle, right? So if you're in a tremendous calorie deficit, right, you're not going to have glycogen in the muscles. You're probably limiting your carbs. Your muscles aren't going to be full to their capacity, filled to the capacity with creatine. with creatine, with fluid. Creatine pushes that in, right? So your muscles could be plump like a grape, and that's what creatine does, that intramuscle fluid, or it can be deflated like a raisin, and we're in this constant flux. So that's what creatine does. All right. You can, like, remember I said for a supplement to be proper, you have to feel it. And also you can see the weight on the scale. So for a lot of muscle builders, that's enough. But what is it doing to build muscle tissue? As far as that leverage of being 10 pounds more, right? That helps men train maybe heavier, feel more confident. That will lead to muscle, but it's not 8 pounds, 5 pounds of muscle gain. So you got to know what creatine does and what it doesn't do. Okay. So again, so this is my experience. And you see the contest photos if you do the Google search of me, right? Just ripped and shredded, right? Lean, right? In contest. I would load on creatine the last week. So I've been using creatine, for years, right? Is it effective? It's a safe supplement, right? But it's like just one molecule, right? So I was going, creatine, vegan creatine, right? I did not say that it was not good for you. I didn't say that. I said I've used creatine, forever. I'm not using creatine now because I don't need my muscles engorged, right? Okay, it's just important you know what it does. It's been proven safe, and I'll just tell you, Richard, when that came on the market in 1994, it's probably most widely used. It stayed on the market, right? So it's not hype. I mean, people like it. So, if it stayed on the market that long, trust me, it would, in all that time, it would have been taken off the market if it was unsafe. Now, good for you. Well, if you need that, if that, you feel like it the way it feels, right? But the question's safe, or is it good for you, bad for you? I'm not really addressing that, but look, I'm not a scientist or research, but every single company has creatine monohydrate, and it's been on the market since 1994. We've been pulled off it. It was so unsafe, even slightly unsafe, right? Pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of creatine have been sold. There are men who've used pounds and pounds and pounds of creatine over the years, right? Then I'm probably in that category, right? So, that's what it does. But here's the thing. I've never heard after in the year, and like I said, I had a supplement company. My number one seller, I sold thousands of cases of creatine back on bodybuilding.com years ago, right? Never heard of the term vegan creatine. So I'm thinking, what? It's just one molecule. How would that be vegan? Is it processed? Like these vegan categories, because some certain religion, right? How it's even prepared. So capsules for some pills, that has to be vegan for their religious reasons, right? So my mind's going, vegan creatine. Why haven't I heard of that term? So I just looked it up, right? And here's the thing is, so creatine is what's in meats. You can get it naturally occurring. You can't get it the same consistency, same dosage, right, through meat, but creatine is in meat. So vegan creatine is the synthetic one molecule creatine that everybody sells, creatine monohydrate. It's just not in meat. So everybody sells vegan creatine. But that's clever that they put it that way to appeal to the vegan crowd. And I guess it's accurate, right? Because it's not meat creatine, but nobody's is meat creatine. It's the synthetic molecule creatine to monohydrate. So I hope that I hope that clears all that up. Your questions about creatine, vegan creatine. But now you know what it does and what it doesn't do. All right. Howdy, Frankie. Great to have you here. You're welcome, Richard. And thank you so much for the follow. 4.3 thousand likes on TikTok. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. All right. So I've got a message for you today. So I kind of, when I do this for you, I've kind of created the system coming to you from at least for an hour every single morning. And by the way, on TikTok, and it starts today. All right. So we talk about health, we talk about fitness, right? But you get to, as I talk about building muscle and losing body fat, it's up to you to be clear. Why am I doing this? And it's for a sense of control, the way you look, the way you feel, more confidence, longevity to take care of your family longer, more energy to still be fighting in the job market, whatever it is, whatever the quality of life, all right, that working out, eating right is for you. It's really for some emotional issues. And we all come together as older men. We have a lot of the same values, situations that younger men don't. All right. So when we talk about fitness, but we also have life issues that we as men, when we talk about it, right, we realize, wow, I'm not alone. You probably know all that. Right. So one thing about me, I'm crazy passionate. I'm obsessed about personal development. All right. It started with my obsession with personal development back when I was 21 years old. I was dragged to a Zig Ziglar seminar. You know, if you know Zig Ziglar, if you've heard what he does, right? And how powerful the mind is when you know how to control it. I'm here right now because of it. Longevity for you, engraved, good, right? But why do you want to live longer? That's that quality of life, those emotions that you want to feel, lengthen that out, right? So, so if you were to look up Tony Robbins, Skip LaCour, you'll see that I was on one of his infomercials, 20 years ago. I've always been obsessed with the power of mind for better quality. I have to go out and get it, right? And so there's a lot. Life is tough, right? So as we have our men here, I want to start talking more about life issues that are a reason why you probably are indirectly working out. So at night, in the evenings, and I'll come up with a time if this sounds interesting, you personal about how to get more out of life perspective to take on the challenges, whether you're your marriage or your divorce and you're looking for love, right? Whether it's just dealing with getting older and arthritis or the injuries of what it feels like getting older, right? That unique perspective, right? We're going to talk about those life issues along with fitness at night. Now, I want to make it just as consistent as the time you can expect it, just like we do here for this fitness show. So, and that starts, I got someone I'm going to be doing some shows with, talking about these issues, confidence for older men. So I've been working on that, since I was 21, got a lot of things to share with you, if that sounds interesting to you, right? And so that's going to be developed tonight. All right. So, and you'll know more about that. I missed so many years of not working out due to being busy with life and neglecting myself. Yeah. You're not alone, but you know what? Just like anything in life, all we can do is from this day forward, right? That's all we can do, Richard, right? To look this way, to win those national championships, obviously I took care of my health. But when you go this way, you focus, you don't have your attention to other things in life. Right here I am, at 62 years old with an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, right? So I neglected focusing on things that I put off, right? So we all we can do is be grateful for the things we have. Do something about your fitness now, just like, I'm loving and living and doing things now that I didn't focus on before, and that's all we can do. I mean, that's the type of perspective, that I want to bring to this show, this confidence for older men type thing. So that sounds interesting. That starts later today. Well, I've been developing, but starts later today on TikTok. But as it develops, when we have a time slot, make sure you do it. But reach out to me if that sounds interesting to you, right? So Tree Grit says, ephedrine was crazy. And a lot of tree guys would overuse it. I think a lot of people overused it. You're welcome, Tree Grit. What would you recommend for getting rid of love handles? A diet, right? Your diet. That's just body fats. First place it goes on, last place it comes off. Even when you look good in your clothes, even when you aren't fat, even when you do look better than most. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follows. All right. All right. So let's talk about eating for quality of life. All right. So many of us, we talk about eating, diet. There's a lot of talk about processed food these days and, how it's affecting us. But, food is a drug that can enhance the quality of your life. It also detracts from your quality of life. You just may not know what the difference is if you've never really worked on your eating habits, right? But you got to remember something about food. And this is what I want to talk about because you've heard about this. And for a lot of people, they're already tuning out because this whole eating subject is too overwhelming. Right? And I get that, right? But most of our challenges are losing body fat. And that is going to happen not by working out. Losing that body fat is going to be diet. But this is the one thing, it's something that most men don't understand about. The more food you eat, the more quality food you eat, the more calories. Calories is what's in food. Calories is energy. Food is energy. Calories, energy, food's calories. Calories, food, energy. Right? We can't just be at a calorie deficit. Forget about the taste of food, right? Food is energy, the energy to take on the day, to be optimistic, to control our brain functioning levels, right? Not to mention, have the energy in the state of mind to use our mental, physical, and emotional resources later on in the day when we have challenges in life at the end of the day, so we don't have to drink alcohol to calm us down, right? We can deal with life issues, right? A lot of that mental energy, that stamina, that resourcefulness, a lot of it, a lot of it is our ability to take on stress, is our eating habits. And I'm not even talking about building muscle and losing body fat. All right. A lot of men, even when they're not trying to lose body fat, and when they do this calorie deficit, they don't eat enough food. I can look at an older man and he's in good shape, looks better than most. He's going to the gym on a regular basis. And instinctively, again, this may not apply to you. And if you don't have any idea because you're convinced you don't even need to know how many calories that you're eating, and you're not eating enough food, they're eating like 1,200 calories. We can really eat twice as much food and lose more body fat easily and have more energy, sleep better, recover from their workouts, be stronger in the gym, be stronger mentally and emotionally, physically longer in the day. Right, sleep better, and your eating has it's important, and you got to make sure you eat enough food. And trust me, eating enough food, you can keep that your metabolism going and burn more body fat. So remember something: don't look at food just as to burn body fat or not. Certainly, don't look at it as it's for enjoyment, entertainment, or it's you got to suffer and not eat at all. Right. You got to look at food as a life enhancement drug, and it's how you use it. So eating for the quality of life. All right. Thank you so much for the follow. Ski Wawa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the likes too on TikTok. So, I just want to introduce, nutrition. I know it's a subject that most men just get so overwhelmed and they don't address it all. They just go back to the weights. So you got to remember, food is a drug. How well do you use it or not, right? It adds or detracts from your quality of life. And food isn't just about body fat or muscle. Food is brain functioning, quality of life, physical energy, optimism, resourcefulness. All right. And you got to make sure your calories is food. Calories is energy. Food is energy. Food is quality. The three of them all work together. Just cutting your calories, being on deficit. I don't have to tell you that when you don't have enough food, you get hangry, angry, right? You're not in a good state of mind, right? So you can eat more food. You actually want to eat as much food as you can while you're still in that deficit, right? 1,000 calories would be a calorie deficit. And you can grind that out for a while, right? I guess lose that weight, but is that sustainable? And is that good for your overall life function? Because 2,000 calories is a deficit too, not as quite as severe, and your quality of life is totally different over the days, weeks, and months. Right? But if you don't even know how many calories you have, then that's all moot, isn't it? Thank you for the follow. Nyson Ellis, thank you for the follow. All right. So one thing I do when I do the show every single morning is I give you the opportunity to reach out for me. If you like what you hear, if you like what you hear, all right, take action now. If you're sick and tired of having so much uncertainty with your workout, just tell me what to do. I'll do it. Right? If you're sick and tired of that body that you have, right, and you want, now is the time to do something, I give you an opportunity to reach out to me. So step number one is you text me at the number on the screen, 925-352-4366. I have about 3 or 4 men every single day, every single morning, go through this simple process, especially if you're determined, right? You're sick and tired, you need some answers, you need some direction. I'll be more than happy to help you, all right? So the first thing is you text me, just introduce yourself. Text me and then send me a picture. Text me a picture. You don't have to have your shirt off. That could be helpful, but whatever you feel comfortable with. And then you go to talkwithskip.com, right? You go to talkwithskip.com. You go to talkwithskip.com, fill out that questionnaire. You're going to get really clear on what you need from me. I'll be clear on what you need from you, and we can use our time efficiently. All right. All right. So 2-step process, take action now if you're sick and tired. You like what you've heard on this live broadcast and all of my live broadcasts, Workouts for Older Men, gives you the opportunity to reach out. All right. I'll help you. I'll have the information I need. You've texted me, introduce yourself. You've texted me a picture, and you fill out the questionnaire at talkwithskip.com. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching me here today. Let me, what'd you find most valuable about the time that you spent together, whether you've spent 10 minutes with me today or you were here the entire hour, right? What'd you find most valuable? I love your feedback. Even when you're watching the replay version on TikTok, you came in and, wow, it sounds interesting. You can go to my YouTube channel at Skip Cour and watch the entire live broadcast. So you may have been coming in and out on TikTok. You can watch the entire show and every show that I've done because you can't watch the lives once I sign off on TikTok, but you can go to my YouTube channel at Skip Cour and watch this live broadcast and all the live broadcasts in the past, right? Workouts for Older Men Live. All right. So what'd you learn today? All right. So let me do a little show wrap up. Thank you for joining me for this morning's Workouts for Older Men Live. By the way, if you missed today's live broadcast, you can watch the replay versions on my Facebook page at Skip Cour page or at Skip Cour on my YouTube channel. Right? You can catch the replay, right? In today's show, I talked about creatine monohydrate and vegan creatine monohydrate, all right? We talked about joint pain. Where might that come from? Is it that you're lifting weight that's too heavy? Or even with a weight that you can handle, you feel safe with now that you're a little bit old? All of those sets, all those reps, all those exercises, are they needed? Because even though you're doing something healthy like exercising, right, all that wear and tear from all that use, might that be the cause of your joint pain and not the heavy weight? Give you some things to think about. And we answered a lot of questions during today's show. We talked about food, eating food for quality of life, not just building muscle, not just about losing body fat, but for your entire quality of life, your mental acuity, your ability to handle stress in life, the energy to extend your work productive day. In addition to be strong in the gym, better sleep at night. Food, what it does and why you need to make sure you eat enough and not just worry about a calorie deficit, what you look like in the mirror. Food and your quality of life, we talked about that in a lot more. in today's Workouts for Older Men Live. Like I do every single morning, I usually have 3 or 4 men reach out to me, text me a picture. All right, 925-352-4366. They text me a picture, introduce themselves, and then they go to talkwithskip.com, fill out a questionnaire, and I reach out to them. Sometime of the day was convenient to spend 10 minutes with them, helping them identify their biggest challenge and the steps they need to take, validating what they do, making adjustments, and giving them a realistic time frame when they can see results. So this is your chance to do that. Again, thank you so much for joining me for today's Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day. All right. So that's my show little recording. One other thing, guys, go to solutionswithskip.com. If you are the type of man who wants to take action, all right, I've got a great package for you. It's $147. You get one-on-one time with me, but you get workout, digital information, videos, lots of videos, all right, all lined out to your workout plan, nutrition, mindset strategies, right? 11 hours of audio presentation over 12 modules, a 90-minute video of the biggest fitness challenges that older men face and their solutions. All right. If you like this and you're just sick and tired, you want to take action, this is a great introduction to understanding the power of one-on-one coaching when I talk to you individually. All right. So if you're the type of man who does what it takes to get what he wants, and think $147, the least investment I can make. I get to talk to this guy one-on-one. All right, I'm loving these videos. I'm loving the skipcore.com website, but you want that personal attention. Go to solutionswithskip.com. When you enroll, it's a one-time charge of $147. You'll get access to all the information immediately. You get issued a username and password. Then I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to make sure I have a picture of you, and you fill out that questionnaire. And then we spend 1 hour. The call is recorded so you can continue to listen to it over and over again. That's at solutionswithskip.com, solutionswithskip.com, training routine, eating plan, coaching package. Right. So even if you're just thinking about it, go check it out, see what a tremendous value that is. So maybe today isn't the day you're ready to take action, but maybe tomorrow is. All right. So go to solutionswithskip.com. And I look forward to talking to you. I really get excited working with men one-on-one, because if you're getting a lot from these videos, it's just, there's just a massive difference when you get the one-on-one coaching. So Richard, definitely, check that out at solutionswithskip.com. I look forward to our one-on-one coaching session. Again, the call is recorded so you can listen to it over and over again. All right, so let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day. All right, YouTube and Facebook, thank you so much for being here. Reach out to me. Go to solutionswithskip.com. Text me. Get a hold of me.